around the house. So I guess my being a wedding present to her was something that was practical because her husband, Mr. Robert Martin, he had the wanderlust. It was California, here we come. We packed up all our worldly belongings and headed to the West, land of fortune, gold, and romance. Well, I tell you, Mr. Martin, Miss Ann, all of us, we did not find the gold. And I tell you, Mr. Martin, well, he had to fall back on what he knowed best, and that was farming. And Mr. Martin, he become an assemblyman, a general, and he was the first landowner in Siskiyou, California. Well, President Master Abraham Lincoln emancipated us from our enslavement. And I wanted to find my own family, and I did, in the city called Leadville. That was also a mining town. And I found my sister Maddie and my brothers Burr and Finley. And we stayed there for a while. Now, I tell you, I did want some of that gold, but I didn't think that it would be very practical for me to go out finding the gold. But I could make a bed, I could fit a plate, and I could make sure that you had something good to eat. And that's what I did, me and Maddie, for them their prospectors. And they could pay me in the gold. Then I heard about General Custer opening up the Black Hills. And it was deadwood or bust for old Aunt Lou. Yes, it was. Now, when I got there, it wasn't nothing but a bunch of tents and cots. But I made the best of it as I could. And 2 years later, I was stolen away by the Golden Gate. Now, the Golden Gate was the best hotel in the Black Hills. And I made sure of that. Now, I was dependable and trustworthy, and everybody knowed it. That's the reason Mr. Rima come and try to steal me away from the Golden Gate. He was the bookkeeper at the DeSmet boarding house. He come down one morning and I feed him breakfast. And he said my biscuits were light, fluffy, and heavenly. And he made me an offer and I said, well, Mr. Rima, I work at the best hotel in the Black Hills. And even with a double increase of my salary, it would not be worth the move to go to the DeSmet boarding house. Well, he thought about it for a while, and then he done left. Come back down about a week or so later, come around lunchtime, and I feed some chicken, and he said, my fried chicken was the best he done ever had. And he's still trying to steal me away. But I told him, no, I'm pretty happy where I is, but I'll pray on it. So he come back down another time, and I fixed him my plum pudding. Now, I don't know what possessed that man, because he asked me for my recipe. Now, you know, if a woman tell you her age, or she tells you her recipe, well, you just can't trust her. So I said, Mr. Rima, I put in a handful of this and a handful of that, and it comes out plum pudding. Now, that's my recipe. Well, he doubled my order. He also know that in Deadwood, there was a lot of riffraff there. And he told me that all of the people at the DeSmet boarding house was respectable men's. They was important men's. They was the supervisors or the superintendent in the mill or the mine where they worked, and I would never have no trouble. So I thought about it for a while, and Mr. Remus stole me away